Viewers, this is the election headquarters of India. Times Now gets you all the action from voting to verdict. Let's open this up without any delay. JVC Sreeram, political strategist; Rashid Kidwai, senior journalist; Mr. Balan, lawyer and left supporter; Dr. Anand Ranganathan on the show. JVC Sreeram, how do you read the contest?
Good morning, Pranesh. This is going to be a landmark election. This is going to be a watershed moment in Kerala. Either ways, three possibilities. If my opinion polls goes right, then UDF is going to come to power, which means for the first time after 1977, mark my words, there will not be a red flag in any of the state capitals in India. That is complete wipe off of left, which means that is the watershed moment, number one. Number two, if LDF comes back to power, then Pinayarni Vijayan becomes the tallest icon and leader of Kerala. He goes past EMS Nambudripad, he goes past Karunakaran, he goes past probably every other leader Kerala has ever seen, because no chief minister has come to power 3 terms. That's a big watershed moment. Number two moment. Number three, if BJP goes past, say, probably 2 or even 5 and brings an assembly, that would be for the first time the Saffron Party would have made its mark. So whatever way you look at it, Kerala is going to be a watershed election, and April 9th would remain of 2026 would remain part of history. We are in the making of an history moment, Pranesh. Don't forget about that.
Okay, so any result, irrespective of what it's going to be, is going to be history either way. JVC Sreeram, let's also take a look at the states. What is significant? This is, of course, going to have a lot of impact in the center as well, and we're going to be talking about that. Let's talk about the numbers as they stand in 2021 as well. Let's take a look at what the numbers were like. Let's give you a sense of what is expected this time around. Let's first take a look at the 2021 numbers in Keralam. Now, remember, very important elections, like JVC Sreeram was pointing out. Will there be a wipeout of the left, or if they come for a third term, then that's going to be historic as well. So it's going to be a pivotal moment in Keralam. Let's take a look at the 2021 numbers. Now, look at these numbers very clearly. It was a mandate in support of the left, and Keralam, remember, has seen a trend of alternating governments, but that was bucked last time around with the left returning to power with quite a good majority, 99 seats that were won by the LDF, with UDF being reduced to just 41. The NDA did not manage to win any seat, but they did increase their vote share, reaching 12.4%. One factor this election is also going to be on whether the BJP can actually put this vote share into seat share. Can they convert the vote share into seat share? This time around, is it a three-cornered contest or not? Will be interesting to see. This is the story of Keralam that we've seen play out, and today is going to be very crucial for all the parties. But let's also talk about the other states that are in polls. Let's talk about the Union Territory of Puducherry. In Puducherry, the NDA has seen a good share. Now, remember, this is a very, very crucial battle for the NDA, because this is the only turf within South India where the NDA is in power. A wipeout from here would mean that their footprint from entire South would be removed. So this is a Union Territory that the BJP wants to win, has to win to continue their stronghold within the South. So if the NDA had 16 seats previously, the UPA being reduced to 8. This time around, the Congress is again looking to come back to power. Statehood, one of the key issues here, and of course a boost for tourism. But apart from that, another state that has made a lot of headlines in the recent past. We've seen a high decibel, very polarized campaign that has gone on in Assam. So Assam also going to polls today. And here it is the BJP that has turned the state completely saffron, and we've seen a complete change in trend. The BJP was not much of a factor previously, but has now become one. And BJP has made its campaign all around the Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma. So the question still remains on whether that factor is going to play out in favor of the BJP. The BJP had 75 seats, with the Congress having 50. But look it. And here is where the real story comes in, because look at the vote share. There's only about 1% difference. For the BJP Plus, it was 44.5%, whereas for the Congress parties, it was 43.3%. Just about 1% difference in terms of vote share, but in terms of seat share, it was a big difference. So this time around, which way would it go, Madhav, is going to be very interesting to see.
Well, absolutely. In fact, let's quickly take this across. I believe we have some of our reporters also joining us from on ground, apart from our guests who are with us. And let me bring in Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Dr. Anand Ranganathan, the question that many will be asking is this. In the state of Kerala, in the state of Tamil Nadu, we had typically seen, alternating governments which had come in. There was always anti-incumbency at play. But in both the states in the last election, it was the incumbent governments that managed to come into power. Will that jinx be broken this time round? Because, clearly, of course, there are issues related to governance, issues related to incumbency that exist in both the states. How much of that will play on the minds of voters is a very big question.
Good morning, Madhav, and good morning to my fellow panelists, and good morning, everyone else. You are absolutely right. And I think, as JVC put it very succinctly, if the left loses Kerala this time, then the communists will be only in two places in India, JNU and the media. And I doubt whether that's brought a smile, so that's good. But, you're right. As far as the anti-incumbency is concerned, it would be a Herculean effort going forward for the chief minister, incumbent chief minister, to pull this off. And I say this, for two reasons. Number one, the fact that you suddenly see a surge of activism as far as the Congress is concerned. They are fighting this. They've realized that this also for them is a last gasp effort. Secondly, you look at the public debt of Kerala. It has ballooned. I think it's about 3.3 lakh crores, which is unprecedented. You have a wave of corruption scandal, not to mention the 2020 gold smuggling case that has involved the Chief Minister's office directly, which the opposition alleges has to be probed. And it would be probed once it comes to power. And believe me, that is the Congress and India ally of the communists saying in Kerala. Then you have a lot of unemployment that has been exacerbated by the Iran war. I mean, please remember that a huge chunk of the GSDP of Kerala comes from remittances. And that has been affected not only because of the Iran war, but also previously there because the exports were also hit. So there are about 3 or 4 factors that make the incumbent winning this election a bit difficult this time round. But if it does, it truly would be a watershed moment.
Reporters joining us live with us is Arpita. We also have Imran and Somit joining us at the moment. Mohit is also with us. Dharni also joining us. Let me come across to you first. Arpita, very important election as far as Kerala is concerned. The future of the CPM also hangs in the balance. If they do not get elected to power, this will be for the first time in decades that CPM will not be in power in any state in the country. So it's do or die as far as the left is concerned.
Well, rightly said, for CPM, it is a do-or-die situation, because if they don't come to power this time, they will be completely wiped out from the country itself. They lost Tripura earlier, West Bengal earlier. Now they are only governing in Kerala. So for them, this is very crucial. For UDF also, for that matter, it is a do-or-die situation, because Kerala always has seen a bipolar contest between UDF and LDF, and it also every year simultaneously LDF and UDF comes to power every assembly election. But in 2021, CPM broke that record. LDF came to power consecutively, and that was a historic win for LDF. So this time, if UDF doesn't manage to win the assembly elections, then that will definitely change the political this in UDF. There may be chances that the top leaders may be replaced, or the entire political scenario will change in the UDF as far as UDF is concerned. For BJP also, this is very important, because they did win Thiruvananthapuram Corporation election. They had defeated LDF after 45 years, which was a big win for BJP. And also they did manage to open their account in Lok Sabha election, where Suresh Gopi won from Thrissur. So for BJP, they are very confident that this time they will be a very big player in the assembly election. In fact, just some time back, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, when we spoke to Rajiv Chandrasekhar, he said if hung assembly comes, BJP is going to play a very important role, and BJP can turn the dynamics, is what he has said. So definitely BJP is going to play a very important role as far as this assembly elections is concerned, because it is only in 2016 that they had won one seat, that is Nemam, which comes in Thiruvananthapuram. So this time as well they are eyeing Nemam, where BJP State President Rajiv Chandrasekhar is contesting. Not
Stay
just
with
that,
us,
they're
Arpita.
eyeing
I want to
other
quickly bring in Rashid Kidwai before we go across to other panelists and other reporters as well. Rashid Kidwai, strangely, it's not just an existential crisis for the left, Rashid Kidwai, but also at the same time for the Congress, which has had a drought, you know, in terms of being out of power for nearly a decade. Now, that is a record of sorts because that hasn't happened for quite some time in Kerala. Now, what is very interesting to see is the entry of the BJP. While it may not come into power, it certainly is going to act as a spoiler. The question is, will it act as a spoiler for the Congress or for the left?
Yes, I think it's a litmus test for both major political parties, that being Congress and the BJP. Well, BJP, it is a very actually difficult choice. There is a one thing that's obvious, that they would have, you know, increased vote share and perhaps a few seats. But in order to defeat, you know, the Congress-led UDF, the BJP on the practical ground has an option to have some kind of, tactical voting and shifting some of its, vote basis to the left, to the LDF, and that would mean what Mr. Modi has been saying. You know, the Congress getting, completing a century of sorts since 2014 of, losing 100 or more, elections in various states. So therefore, the BJP is actually, is not been able to make up its mind whether to stand on its own and, pick few seats or increase vote share, or indirectly help, the left to defeat the Congress. Internally, of course, the Congress, yeah.
In fact, let me bring in Mr. Balan on that. Mr. Balan, the question is that the LDF government in the last Lok Sabha election lost the last assembly election, and before that, the previous Lok Sabha election had suffered because of the kind of perception that LDF was against the issue of Sabrimala. Now they've taken a complete U-turn in the Supreme Court. Those hearings have been happening, but is it too little too late in terms of the people's opinion and in terms of the public perception of the LDF government? Corruption is one issue, corruption even in Sabrimala for that matter, and even on the issue of women's entry, there seems to be a lot of fighting back that the left is doing at this point of time from the earlier positions.
See, I have already said it's a make-believe issue, Sabrimala issue. The people, voters are expecting jobs, good governance and welfare. But one of the panelists said if the left is defeated in this election and complete red flag is wiped out, it's a daydream. As long as working class remains, as long as poverty remains, as long as injustice remains, nobody can wipe out the left or the red, which Mussolini, and don't laugh, what is there to laugh? Which Mussolini failed to do or Hitler failed to do, it is an history. History of Kerala is left. Never Keralites can be criminalized. And BJP is only rhetoric. They have no answers to the issue concerned with the people of Kerala. Okay. It's only ideological bankruptcy. Their magics will definitely end in tragic. This time, because of the 10 years good governance of Pinarayi Vijayan and the left, their connectivity to the grassroots, definitely third time, the left will reach 3-digit and they will continue.
That's not much of an issue, but let's see if that is the case. And you mentioned the BJP as well, on where the BJP really comes in the mix. Will they get the votes of the LDF or the UDF? But there are some key seats where the BJP believes that they have an actual chance, whether they form the government or not. Like you said, there is a chance that the BJP can win seats this time around. Let's talk about some of the key seats. And when we speak about the BJP state president, Rajiv Chandrasekhar, who is contesting from the Nemam constituency. It is one of the constituencies that is seeing a big fight with the minister V. Shivanakutti of the CPM being fielded and Rajiv Chandrasekhar of the BJP. Now remember in the Lok Sabha elections as well, as Rajiv Chandrasekhar contested from the Thiruvananthapuram seat, it was from the Nemam seat that he got the maximum support. Over 40% of the votes polled in favor of the BJP. So it is one seat where the BJP has a real chance. Of course, previously an MLA has also been elected to the Kerala Assembly from this very seat. So it is a seat where the BJP believes that it has a very strong chance of winning The Congress fielding Shabari Nandan from here. The CPM, of course, having the minister Shivanakutti from this region. So this is one seat, one fight to watch out for. Rajiv Chandrasekhar did speak to Times Now this morning, and he went on to say that there are going to be winds of change in Keralam and the state is going to see a real change. But let's also talk about the other key seats and some breaking updates that are coming in as well. As of now, of course,